Okie dokie, let's get it going. Just a reminder to anybody watching, I won't be in chat, so if people come in and try to talk to me, do me a favor and let them know that what's up, that we're in tournament mode. So, no time to talk. No responses. There we go. Right when I say something. So, good luck, have fun to DCG. And let's hope this goes well. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I don't like this matchup. A lot of people think I'm a big favorite. I don't really see it that way, but there's only one way to find out. On the draw, I think that's good in this matchup. With a censor. Alright. Let's party. What's the worst that could happen? Would have liked a lot more lands in the hand. And putting faith in the deck. Lots of faith. Alright, telling time alert. We'll go this way. I'm opening myself up to turn 3 something, but that's pretty unfortunate draw. The tutelage is what we don't want to see. Gideon would be annoying, but the tutelage is the big problem. There's a one of in the deck. Let's see if we got it. Okay, Drake. Drake's not terrifying to me at the moment. The dead draw in the deck, Radiant Flames. It's an absolutely dead card in this match. We're already in some danger to like a Planeswalker Dispel kind of turn. So I'm already pretty unhappy. But I will cycle this now. We absolutely can't miss this land drop. Another red would be really nice. That isn't it. Okay. Cycles his own censor, sure. Glimmer main phase. So that tells me there's a Dispel. So I think we just let that happen. Let's go ahead and try to commit this. No Dispel there. Alright, now we got memory in the graveyard, if the tutelage thing becomes a problem. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Cycle you. No. No, because then a censor counters our counter. That definitely smells like he has the Dispel. If I had another mana, I'd be great, but I don't. Still, gotta go for it. Interesting. I am gonna cycle this now. Jealous of that Aether Hub. Would come in really handy against this Drake. Okay. Don't like the way this is going one bit. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, glory hallelujah. Still doesn't have counter for the counter. Well, I don't have another counter, so I don't want to use this right now. But on his turn, I might try something. That chandra's a pretty big haymaker. But I have the disperse, so I think what I'll do is try this into one of these. Okay. He's shown me he doesn't have at least the counters yet. And I'm hoping he just fours me with the fumerole, because that will definitely tell me there's a lot going on. Alright, that is what's going on. Good. Happy that he's using mana that way. Well, I got to use the Radiant Flames. I just really wish I had an Aether Hub or a Dynavolt Tower or something so I could just lightning his Drakes. I don't know. Not good. But here we go. Let's have a look around. Well, it's my turn and I'm on priority and I don't have to give anything away by pausing. He's used a censor. He had an opportunity there to play a censor on one of my spells. So he cycled that pretty early. I'm just trying to decide. It's clear he hasn't found a Dispel yet. So I'm trying to decide how much to pull for, and I think I just go for the max. But 4 is so good. Is 5 really that important? Let's see what happens here. Alright. Oh, he's gonna try again. Sure. Alright. 1 damage. Let's try this for 4. Do we draw the Dispel or the Scatter? Telling time for it. Okay. Let's see. It has to be Dispel. He does not have pull in his deck. Glimmer is his card draw, basically. Glimmer and Telling Time. So pull is a haymaker if it works out. And it does. Wow, that's something. Not a very good pull, to be honest, but we had to get through those cards somehow. Still can't seem to find an Aether Hub or a Dynavolt Tower. There goes a censor. So that is probably what he told time into. Makes me feel good. Yep. See what we draw here. Pretty good. Let's see. Gets around everything but Scatter. And if he had that, I have to think he would have used it. Because then he put the card back with Telling Time. So he would have had to draw it in his last draw step. Right. Let's see if it comes out to play. It does come out to play. Let's see, any kind of direct damage in this deck. None. I'm assuming, though, we'll see a cast out here. So I am going to pick up. Yes. Alright, I definitely want to have my mana available. Still has probably a censor here. One censor left in the deck. So he probably does not have that in hand. So we'll play like this, just to have max options available here. So are we casting Jace out? Not yet. Who are you gonna attack? Attacks Jace. Fine. I'm willing to let Jace go to 1. Okay. I will attempt to save my Jace. Hallelujah. Alright, I smell a window. Let's see if we can get to it. We can run through it. So first we need to make sure that this dynavolt tower resolves. It is a very hard card for him to deal with. Not a lot of options in his deck for it. Okay, resolves. Let's see if we can get this off the battlefield. Okay, mission accomplished. Now we can tick up. Yeah. Bad. A very hard card for my opponent to deal with. I'm guessing the hand is a combination of Fiery Impulse and Blessed Alliance. And after that, I'm not necessarily sure, but it's definitely not Dispel. Definitely not Scatter to the Wind. So I'm going to say Radiant Flames, Blessed Alliance. Something like that. Okay, Fumerole, where are you going? Radiant Flames, Blessed Alliance, and Fiery Impulse. Some combination of those cards. Let's zap you. He didn't do that so he could add mana. Interesting. I thought that might be the reason to do it main phase. It is a pretty good call if that's the case, but he didn't. He didn't use the mana for anything. Alright, Jace going up. Yeah. It's very tempting to hold up like Glimmer or Pull, but I think right now being proactive is probably a really good approach considering this Jace is about to go off. So it's really tempting to try to play a card like Flamecaller. Because if my opponent has if they draw a cast out or something like that, it just blows up my whole Jace plan and I wasted a turn. It's also really tempting to play a Disciple of the Ring. But I think it should be Chandra. What does that leave me with? 4? I guess Disciple's probably the harder card to deal with. If it resolves, he's going to have a really hard time dealing with Jace. Okay. There we go. So he has to find a way to damage or remove Jace through a Disciple, which he doesn't know I don't have a counter in my hand, but the Spell Pierce ability on Disciple functions as a bunch of counter spells right now. So his best card for that is Cast Out, but then like cards like Dispel and Scatter don't get through it, and I don't think he has that anyway. His own Flamecaller got countered pretty early. He basically spiked it. I don't feel like he tried to play around my deck at all, which tells me he's probably not holding any kind of a threat. And I'm not going to cast anything here. No reason to. Okay, counter, sure. Let's go ahead and ultimate him. Now, bring the Flamecaller. So this will make the Blessed Alliance and the Fiery Impulses a little rougher. I'm just going to attack with these two, since I'm sure he has like Blessed Alliance and things of that nature to spam it with. Maybe a little too cautious, but I just picture a world where he's like, Fiery Impulse, it gets countered. Fiery Impulse, Blessed Alliance, and now my stuff's dead. But I guess I still have Chandra. It's probably too cautious. Still, Disciple's so hard to deal with. One of the only ways to catch it, so to speak, is in the red zone. So when that resolves, he'll get to pick something. I guess there's no reason not to counter it. Should be plenty enough pauses to cover this one. And now we forced his mana down a bit, so I feel perfectly fine attacking. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that'll do it. The only thing is he could... No, Fiery Impulse won't do it. Fiery Impulse won't do it because of the Jace emblem. $11, so we'll go like this. Go like this. I don't feel like he drew the half of his deck that's good against me at all. But that happens, and I'm not going to complain very much. A few things missing in his deck that just really blow my mind. I mean, the Dispels are there, and those could potentially still be a huge problem, but he doesn't have Pull. So if I resolve that, I get way ahead. And he does not have Gideon ally of Zendikar, which is the most dangerous thing that could possibly happen on turn 4. I'll give him a second and see if he wants to invite me this time. His Sphinx's Tutelage is a really scary card for me to be facing if that just comes down on turn 3 and I don't have the answers. So I'm definitely on the lookout for that. Alright. There's the invite. That'll be a headache for sure if he just turn 3 Tutles me. Turn 3 Gideon of the Trials isn't very good for me either. The 4/4 indestructibleness is a bit of a pain. My best solution for that is to get a Dynavolt tower early, which if I have that or kenfnet, that's pretty hard for him to deal with if I resolve them on turn 3. But Essence Scatter is actually a really nice card for me. It deals with a lot of his threats. We saw Commit was pretty good that game. Harness Lightning's good if I can pick up 1 energy somewhere for that 4 toughness. But I can't turn this hand away, but it's really reactive. Being on the draw again, I'm not upset about as long as I have a censor. But I wish I am going to need more counters. He was very aggressive last game. He just played his threats as they became available. So having counters is going to be important, as I don't think bluffing is going to get me very far. Also, I hope I can get away with not cycling my censors this time. He may play around it, but it's one of the best ways to counteract his Dispel. And we are online. We have a good mix of card draw and counters, which is what we really want, although having a turn 3 threat is a way to steal a game that I wish I had. No telling time this time, so what's that tell me about his hand? Probably a pretty good mix of cards. So he might play a Drake soon, so I'll get this Aether Hub onto the battlefield so I can have that Harness Lightning option ASAP. Here comes the censor, or not the censor, yeah, the censor. Of course the censor. Because it wasn't the telling time. Maybe now we have the telling time? Nope, double censor cycle. I like that. I like that. Take those off the board. Censor is a piece, very much a piece in this chess game. And the person who can hang on to theirs is more likely to influence how the opponent plays the game. Okay, 3 mana Drake, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Doesn't defend it with a Dispel, so that's encouraging. Hello, lady. Not the best in this matchup, unless I can get my opponent tapped out. Then it's really good if I can get him to move on a Planeswalker, and I can follow it with this Planeswalker. Okay, tap land. He cycled 2 censors, so I'm gonna go for this. Wow. Yeah, okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Odds are he wants to glimmer here, so I'm going to pass. And if he does, I get the censoring. Nope, no glimmer. He could have tried it last turn too, so maybe he is just waiting to play around. Alright, let's try to hit some land drops, shall we? Perfect. Exactly what I need now. This'll let me try to resolve tower. I imagine there might be a scatter here, and if I'm to force through this tower, it's either scatter or a cast out. Let's see. So let's go to second main. See what he does. Nothing. Okay. This is a pretty good cast out opportunity, and I'm not going to counter it. I can get my tower back sometime if I decide I want to. I could have bounced it and then protected it that way, but I don't want to tap out here. I don't want to leave myself open to my opponent at this stage. I think that's just begging for too much pain. Although the way he's playing this game is so different from the last one, I'm starting to think he is without threats. Still, I don't mind taking my time. Kozilek's Return, a much better card in this matchup than Radiant Flames. Radiant Flames completely dead, but Cozy Return can hit things. Alright, what to do? Probably go for a pull from tomorrow. See if I can draw a counter there. If I can, I can play a Chandra with Disperse up. It's pretty good. So yeah, I like that. It's only a 2/4, so I'm not worried. Let's go for it. See if we can get countered. Oh, interesting. Perhaps another cast out, but he only runs 2. So let's try a big Chandra. Okay. I think I'm fine with that. Don't need to kill it. There are other things. Yep, because I wanted him to use it on his turn. This gets through double Dispel. Or one Dispel, I mean, not double Dispel. Double Impulse gets through single Dispel. Moment of truth. Going for it. I feel like he just hasn't had it in each game so far. Just hasn't had the counter for the counter. Well, here's an opportunity for him to resolve something. Nahiri, I mean, I just kill that with Chandra. Gideon, I just kill that with Chandra. So, it's not that good of a window at all. Alright, in go the 3/1s. Go Team Elementals. Alright, your move again. Let's see if we can get another opportunity to Stone Rain ya. Harness Lightning, his own guy. Okay, it's fine. He can have his 3 energy. Or energy. But I believe his only energy outlets are hubs and harness lightnings. Hardly the end of the world. Alright, here we go. Interesting. Let's try this. Resolves. I'm just gonna let my... May as well go for this. It's just 1 mana. And he's just over there doing almost nothing. I think I've just had all the card draw. Opening myself up to cast out, but I'm not that worried. I can just disperse it. Another pull. Such a haymaker. When one deck has pull and one deck doesn't have pull. So, plus Chandra. Mac. Dynavolt Tower. No reason not to. The only other option would be to leave for a big pull this turn, but honestly my hand isn't that bad. Not to mention I get the immediate lightning bolt from it, so see if we can get a Blessed Alliance out of him first. Fiery Impulse, yep. Down to 1 card. Man, I can't believe he hasn't drawn Dispel in either game. That's got to be a tilt. That's got to be the reason it's in his deck for this matchup. Come on. Come on. Silly Aether Hubs. Tower in the house. Telling time. It's no draw 2 though. Glimmer of Genius. Yeah, go ahead. At this point, he's pretty dead. I just have to stop him from resolving Blessed Alliance. And I can do that, right? I draw 1, 2, 3. I can draw 3, leave up protection, generate 2 energy, untap, disperse for the kill. So yeah, we'll try this. Although 2 mana, yeah, the Blessed Alliance is the only thing that actually saves him. Dispelling this doesn't. Okay. Okay, that'll do it. Unfortunately for DCG, I feel like that was incredibly lopsided. Looking at the deck list, I thought that my answers to Drake were a little more narrow than I would have liked, but I wasn't that worried about most things except the 2 Dispels. I was really worried about him lining up some combination of threat, counter, Dispel that could blow me out. Other than that, I just had to resolve my card drawers, of which he really only had Glimmer. And I had the pull and the hieroglyphic illumination. But, alright, I'm going to wish him some GGs. Okay, I'm gonna tune into chat now, if anybody's hanging out. It looks like there are 19 people who hung out for this. Let's see what you guys are saying. Alright, up we go. Chat is processioning, says Tribesman. Okay. The 24 land deck has more lands than the 26 land deck. Ironic. I mean, that's how it goes, right? That's how draws go. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Lagging too much to see anything. I'm sorry. If there was lag, oh, it was your garbage connection. I gotcha. Alright. Sorry about that. That's too bad. Having to double up removal spells to kill Finsa always feels bad. But the good news is that I have a lot of leftover removal spells anyway. I have more removal spells than he has threats. So using 2 spells there hurts, but it doesn't feel too bad. Let's see. They're saying that the winner plays undefeated zombies. Ooh, boy. I definitely worked on my deck a little bit to be good against zombies. That's why we have 3 magma sprays, 2 fiery impulse. Hopefully that pays off for me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I disagree with blue beating zombies. I prefer red and black. Sweepers are really good versus zombies. I do have the 2 sweepers. I can definitely see an argument for more. But one of the good things about counters is they give you time to set up your sweepers. Bert is here. Let's see. I'm sure you thought about zombies when you picked this deck. Yeah, I did. Dispel, disperse, unsubstantiate, telling time. All 3 Drakes. His deck is really efficient at dealing with a pure control, like CGB is playing. He does have Dispel though, which is a very efficient card for that, but that it is true that his interaction was pretty limited, and I don't think he drew the right cards for sure. He didn't draw Dispel in either game. Let's see, control mirror. Nice one. Just use tower. Sphinx isn't that scary if you have a memory in the deck. It's still pretty scary because when you cast memory, you immediately get milled at least 14 again because of the draw 7 if the tutelage is on the table. If you can set up a world where you can disperse the tutelage and then cast the memory, that's the ideal world. But rarely do you have the ideal, the ability to do whatever you want with a tutelage on the table. Yep, that's what Tribes is pointing out. And what Beast is talking about too. ECG has 2 counters in the entire deck, except those Dispels that never showed up. Is there a card that can process the secondary kozilek's return trigger? You'll have to wait till the top 8 to find out. Just a hint. An honest beating 2-0, that's that. Zombies versus blue-red control in round 4. So, RPG fan, is Delirium archetype competitive on duels? Sort of. It's not nearly as competitive as it is in regular Magic, in paper Magic, or Magic Online. But I have a Delirium deck. It's not... I like it. I think it's a good mid-range deck. I don't think it's tier 1. It's kind of interesting because you get 1 Kalitas and you get 1 Ishkana, right? So if you have to basically keep those cards on the battlefield a lot for the Delirium deck to be good. And the only other real payoff is Gnarlwood Dryad, which isn't bad. That statement, wait till top 8, makes it sound like you have 1 in the sideboard. Just wait. Just wait. Oh, if I could only tell you the power of the sideboard. Alright guys, I had a long day and I'm glad to get this out of the way because I'm going to Texas for a week, so I'm actually going to be gone. I'm not going to be streaming at all until next week. So thanks for coming by, and it was really cool to see ya. But now I've got to go prepare for my trip, and I have to get up and jump on a plane. So I better put an update in the channel in case anybody wonders what's happening to me. There we go. But yeah, I'm going to be missing for a bit, but don't worry, I'll be back. Don't panic. All right, everyone, have a good night. Good luck to all of you who have yet to play your round, and enjoy more Steam Showdown and Xbox Fight Club and iOS Trials of Amonkhet yet to come. Later.